Welcome to 10 Talks, real conversations for champions with champions, where a champion life is a 10 life. Thank you for joining our conversation. I'm Carlette Patterson, and it's our desire to coach you up to win well-being by sharing winning strategies from our champion lives. If you're interested, go to championwellbeing.com or chiefwellbeingofficers.com. And remember, you and your life matter. Enjoy our conversation. Interested in winning well-being in your personal, professional, and philanthropic life? We've created a coaching and training program. It's called Champion Wellbeing. You can find out more information at championwellbeing.com. It's a combination of best practices from sports, business, and life. It's a curriculum that trains you in 10 intelligences. What are those 10 intelligences? Well, it's all about well-being, emotional intelligence, love, leadership, being you, economic independence, your identity, new for change management, and giving hope. Ready to win the day and win well-being? Go to championwellbeing.com. Hi team, welcome to 10 Talks. So today is going to be all about meditation. And I know with the crazy season that we're in and all that's going on, this is going to be a gift for you. So team, first of all, I want to start off with just the power of team and our amazing guest today, Marla. I got to know her from one of our own teammates, Rich. And so I want to start by gratitude and thanking him for the connection. It's such a gift to just get to connect with amazing people from all the work that we're doing. So today is your gift to be able to connect with Marla as well. So Marla, welcome to our team and welcome to just the joy of sharing you and your passion for meditation. So let's start with the power of your story. Let us get to know you a bit.
Okay, so I'm going to start a little bit backwards.
Love it.
I semi-retired just like 6 weeks ago.
15 minutes ago, right? So this
Yes.
is your new life.
So this was my fifth career. I started my first career, I was a dancer. I studied at Juilliard. I danced professionally, many countries all over, until I was in my late 20s. And then I got into sales, circuitously, and in the garment center. I started my own business. It was extremely successful, and it died within a year.
Okay, well, some of us can relate to that with COVID in terms of having a very successful business and life coming along and changing dramatically. So just, that's just the anchored in truth component.
Right. So my story is about during that time that I was at the Limited, and it was a phenomenal time for me. I was what I thought was the top of my career. I was making a lot of money. I was newly married. I had everything. I was in New York City. I had everything except for one thing. I was not happy. Not only was I not happy, I was burning at both ends. I was angry. I got charged by the littlest thing. Walking to the office in the morning, someone might have bumped, and I'd be charged for the day. And I went, something is wrong here.
Now, Marla, just as we, get engaged in your story, how old were you at this time? Because we talk about in terms of seasons of life that, you've been discovering your career, you've got your career now, you're making money, you've gotten married, like everything's going amazing. And there's this piece of happiness that's missing, and also that charge, as you refer to it. So, what season of life were you in for that?
I'm in my 40s. I'm
perfect.
Early to mid 40s.
Team, just wanted you to be right there with us in this story and really know, because we all go through these seasons of life. And so what's interesting is so many times we have these goals and these missions and everything that we want, and we just chase them. We give up everything, we go for it, and then we get it. And Marla, that's right where you have us, is that you kind of got everything you thought you wanted.
Yes. And I was, I guess in those days they said you were burned out, but I'm a holistic person.
Mhm.
I don't want to take pills or, and I went to a doctor of Ayurveda,
Mhm.
and that he took my pulse and asked me a million questions and found out, vata, pitta, kapha, blah, 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 blah. And my pitta, which is a fire sign, was through the roof. And he wanted to calm that fire down. So he, number one, recommended meditation.
Okay.
Number two, change of diet. Number three, he suggested maybe some journaling and, a bunch of what seemed to be very simple things, no major lifestyle change.
Team, I hope this is sounding familiar to you. So many times we go to a guru or a doctor or somebody and are like, fix me, and they give us these solutions of meditation, journaling, diet, exercise, the usual.
Right. And well, I did everything except meditation. And nothing was much happening different.
No winning strategies, nothing special was going on. That happiness wasn't just coming all over you. You weren't
Well,
relaxed and not really getting charged anymore, and nothing happening.
right. So I don't remember exactly how, but I met, things are synchronistic. And he suggested a couple of books, and one was a book by Deepak Chopra. And then I got introduced to someone who was certified to teach Chopra meditation. And I took it, and I don't want to say I was fixed overnight, but I felt a difference
Mm,
immediately.
that transformation.
It was. And it might have only lasted for a very short time, but I knew there was a
Mm,
difference. I knew there
little
was
something,
something.
something. Yeah.
There's something about this. He said meditation first.
Little something, something. Yeah.
Yes. So I I was religious about my meditating. And my husband I would come into the apartment at the end of the day, and he would just see my face and he'd go to the cats, let's let mommy meditate before we even say hello.
Now we're talking winning strategies. Yes, meditation immediately when we get home.
Immediately. Even better if I could have done it before I left the office, but that disciplined I wasn't. So I'd come out a different person.
Mm,
I would be softer, calmer. I could have a conversation.
mm.
I wasn't.
Amped up.
And it was so transformational that I decided I had to learn and I wanted to teach others to meditate.
You wanted to give the gift that that you had received. Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's how we all get started.
Yes. And so I became certified to teach Chopra's meditation, which is a primordial sound mantra meditation. A mantra is a sound that has no meaning. It just takes your mind out of the busyness, and by listening to this sound, repeating the sound over and over, it takes it to a place that calms it down. And it doesn't. People are so think that meditation is quieting the mind and that you just have to quiet your mind and do nothing for a half hour. Well, we can't do that. There are techniques of how to realize you're thinking a thought and then go back to the mantra and then realize that you've gone back to the office, let it go, come back to the sound, realize that you're thinking of dinner, hearing noises like outside in New York City, and then just coming back and back and back and forth. And what I learned later was that it wasn't the actual time during meditation, although that was heaven. It was about being able, about seeing a difference in your day-to-day life. And that when that thing happened on the street or in the office that used to charge me, instead of responding so quickly, I was able to go back to a place that I could take a breath and respond instead of react. And
Love that winning strategy of just having the tools and the ability and the discipline to respond versus react.
To respond versus react. Absolutely. And what happens is that the more you meditate, that time condenses. And you can just immediately change your charge to a response. And that really is the most amazing tool.
Team, that sounds like a tool we could all use in terms of just that ability. No, Marla, I know as we're talking about this, there's a discipline, certainly from our work in sports, yours in dancing, is that, we can say we want this. I really respect your journey of, being told to do it. And there's always a time. That's what I found in my life and in my work is that, we say we want something, or we say we want to lose weight, or we want to get a coach, or we want to do all of these things. And the seed is planted, and then there's the watering of it and kind of really just starting to align the thought and the desire with the work or the commitment or the discipline. And all of that happens when everything comes into alignment and we decide that what we've thought about is actually what we want and that we're willing to do what it takes to get it. So as we go on this journey with you, I hear you're still in the middle of your peak career. Things are still, New York City charged, everything's great.
Yes.
And you've just brought in this additional, as we would say in our work, 3 dimensions: personal, professional, and philanthropic. Personally, you've brought in this new hobby or skill that you've adopted and integrated, and it's really paying off in all your dimensions, personally, professionally, and philanthropically. So team, I just want you to hear that as we talk about it, is that what are you doing in your personal life that can really benefit you in all dimensions? Because so many times when we hear about taking up something new or doing a new skill, we think, oh, I don't have time for that. And I want you just to hear, as Marla takes us through her journey, how we have time to really transform ourselves.
Absolutely.
So keep going. So you've integrated this now.
Right. So let's talk about time, because that is probably, as a teacher now, I think that's probably the excuse I hear most, is that.
So team, we call that a performance barrier. So just to convert our language a little bit. So,
Yes.
the biggest performance barrier that Marla's about to take us through is time. And so Marla, what's the action to change to really utilize that time in a way that serves and supports us?
So the point is that you have to make it a habit. It can't be something that you just do once in a while when you're really having a bad day. You have to make it as much a habit as brushing your teeth in the morning is. And everyone can create a new habit. It's said that if you start a new habit and do it every day for 30 days, that it will become a habit. And optimally, you should meditate twice a day for 30 days. For 30 minutes, excuse me. Optimally, you should meditate for 30 minutes twice a day. Now, maybe we don't have time for 30 minutes twice a day. So then my suggestion is try 20. If you really can't do 20, try 10. Anybody can do 10 twice a day. But it's so important to do that twice a day because it's like a a dip in the pool that refreshes. And if you just do it once a summer, you don't remember being refreshed. And if you just continually do it, it stays with you and you start building on this. And it doesn't have to be, it won't be a job. It won't be something that you don't look forward to, because you will thirst to meditate. You will look forward to it. Also, your body, if you can do it at the same time every day, your body gets used to it. I mean, let's just say 7 a.m. is your time to meditate, and you're up at 6. Your body will automatically start to go, I'm getting ready, because it is something that the body nourishes from, and so it loves. And if you do it at 6 o'clock at night, just before dinner, or 5 o'clock, just before dinner, whatever your dinner is, might be 8. Your body looks forward to it, and you make a wonderful habit.
So team, I just want to coach you up on how to implement all of these winning strategies that Marla's taking us through right now. You're going to recognize it from our tools. So you've certainly heard the power of change and the power of really deciding that you want this. So making that decision is the start. And then rituals and routines. So you're very much all about starting to create those rituals and routines so that you can set yourself up for success. You don't use your energy for wondering, when am I going to do this? You use your energy to know that exactly when you're going to do it. So do it in the morning at the same time, do it in the evening at the same time. This way you get to use your energy for the actual meditation versus all of the busyness of, when am I going to do it? How am I going to do it? It's just a nice, smooth ritual and routine. And if you watch your film, you've got rituals and routines that you love to do right now. So that's what that power is, of really saying, make this something that you love to do as well. Start with 10 minutes. We call those joy breaks. So the good news is you can take your joy breaks and start to put in meditation, so that you're just starting to kind of experiment with it, try it out, see what you like, see what works. Remember, we're not going to anchor into it becoming a routine until we think it's a 10. On our scale of 1 to 10, when is this going to really be exactly what's right? So we're going to enjoy the journey of discovering, when do we want to meditate? How does it work? How long? And really enjoy that process, because that's how you set your days up to be a 10, is that you've started to bring all of these components that really matter to you and help you be who you want to be. So Marla, we've talked about performance barrier of time. We've now talked about rituals and routines and joy breaks. What else do you want to take us through?
Well, I would like to go back to joy breaks. I just love that. And I have a few other joy breaks for you.
Love it.
Yes. In the middle of the day, after your morning meditation, before your evening meditation, but you're having a particularly stressful day, I'm going to take that back. I'm going to say you should do some joy breaks throughout the day.
Absolutely.
All it, once an hour. If you can just pause in between, perhaps phone calls. I think we all do a lot of our business on the phone or on a Zoom call. In between those Zoom calls today, take a pause. Now, when I was in an office, I used to actually get up and go to the bathroom to take my pause. And to fit in a little exercise, I would go to the bathroom on a different floor, so that I walked a couple flights of floors just to make myself move, because I was sitting at that desk too long. But the pause is just to sit and close your eyes and just go through your 5 senses. Feel the air touching your skin. Listen to the noise in the street. Taste that leftover residue of breakfast or the coffee that was on your desk. Just take 30 seconds and go through 3 of the 5 senses, and you will see that your whole body relaxes and releases and puts you back into a much better state.
Well,
So
team,
try.
there's meditation joy breaks. You got it right there. That's a beautiful, beautiful example of how to be able to take a joy break for, every hour and be able to start to implement some meditation. So let's keep talking, Marla, in terms of the benefits of meditating for our well-being.
Absolutely. I mean, there is so much scientific evidence now that meditation lowers your heart rate, it lowers your blood pressure. It is so, it does so much for you. Large corporations include meditation often. Apple, Google, they teach their employees to meditate because they have, it keeps their employees stable. They are healthier. They don't have to go home because they're having, terrible days. This is not woo woo anymore. Meditation is absolutely as Western as it is Eastern today. You don't have to go to some ashram to learn to meditate. And there's so many ways to meditate. It's so simple. I teach a mantra meditation, but you can follow your breath. You can just sit and watch your breath. You can be guided. There are many, many places on YouTube that you can listen to some beautiful guided meditations. And they're beautiful. But there's something very special about meditating quietly, whether it's a mantra or your breath, that really takes you deep, deep, deep to who you really are in truth, in spirit. We aren't a body and blood and a personality, and you think, who are you? And it's this, all these labels, these titles. I'm a mom, I'm a business owner, I'm a parent, I'm a sister, a daughter, a mother. Those are titles. Those are all part of the ego, but who you are in truth is much deeper than that. So I'm sure you've taken yoga classes, and at the very end of the yoga, there's a corpse pose. It's called Shavasana. And the teacher will take you through quieting your feet and your lower legs and your upper legs, your shoulders, your tongue. And it just takes you to this quiet, quiet place. And you can go to that place anytime you wish. You don't have to take a yoga class. You don't have to do a formal meditation. You can do it on your joy break.
Love, love, love that. And Marla, what's fantastic about just the joy of this conversation is how empowering it is that I can take my power back. I can be in charge of my emotional management, as we would call it. When those emotions are not my best self, when I'm not being who I want to be, when, as you say, not being true to who I really am, all of that is a truth. The world is noisy, things happen, good things happen, not so fabulous things happen. We have hurt feelings, we have stress, and life is full of things that are kind of taking us off of our game. And the ability to bring us back to center, anchor in who we are, connect our mind, our body, our spirit, our heart, and really be able to take those breaths and that connectivity of anchoring and being present, and then getting myself set. It's like a timeout in sports. It's that ability to really call a personal timeout, get myself together from a meditation perspective, take those deep breaths, kind of get grounded in who I am and who I want to be, and then back in the game. So, team, that's what I want you to hear, is that everything that we're talking about is about optimum performance. It's really about you being able to be your best self and to be able to have the tools and the knowledge and the understanding that when you're not your best self, what do you want to do in that moment to really make the change? It's not a change that you've got to go away for, or, got to take yourself out of the game. Nothing about what we do is about benching you, right? We are all about keeping you in the game and really loving it and living that 10 life. So you're getting the gift today of being able to call a personal timeout, get yourself from a meditation perspective back in alignment, and then put yourself back in the game in a way that really sets you up to be the person that you want to be. So, Marla, let's talk about another performance barrier of anxiety, because that is
Yeah,
certainly something that can take us out of the game. How do
that's
we use meditation for anxiety?
well, first of all, I want to make sure that you understand, and everyone who's listening understand, to not judge yourself.
Mm,
Not judge yourself that this is the bad me and this is the good me. It's all you.
yeah.
And sometimes you're good and sometimes you're better. But don't discount. You have to actually love that part of you, because there's something that is a symptom that something is wrong, something is out of balance. Anxiety is being out of balance. When we're having whether it's a stressful day or an anxiety or a depression, those are symptoms of being out of balance. And meditation will help bring you into balance. I think one of the best things I ever heard about meditation, I went, oh, could I do that?
Mhm.
Is that it helps you to take life less seriously,
Mm.
to be lighthearted, to not judge everything about yourself and others. And that's part of the unity consciousness that we all want to strive for, is that I am you, you are me, and there is no separation between us. But also, I am that person who was not at her best self yesterday. And I am also that person who is in a better place today. So meditation takes you, it's not going to just, it's not a pill.
Mhm.
Don't take a pill. Just meditate regularly. And if you meditate regularly, you'll see these things just disappear. They'll just soften, and you will be softer about it. So, whatever your symptomatic um, issues are, meditation will transform them, and that we won't be so anxious, we won't be so depressed, we won't, and we will have more joy in our
Mm.
day,
Such a
in our life.
beautiful gift. Yeah, just the gift of life, and the gift of being for each other, for ourselves from a no judgment perspective, and for each other, so that we can really be on each other's teams and supporting each other through our good and our not so fabulous, because you know what? That's going to happen. We call those human moments. It's just going to be like, I so had my desired outcome of being a 10 today, and life showed up and took me off my game. And you know what? I'm still in it. I'm doing the best I can. And I'm really embracing who I am, and the ability to now insert meditation as my joy breaks, as my rest and recovery, as my preparation for the beginning of my day, as my rest and recovery for the end of the day. And so, Marla, as we sign off with the team, what are your words of wisdom that you've really learned from the beginning of our conversation, which was about the power of your story, the gift that you've given us, taking us through meditation? What are your words of wisdom?
To be in the moment, Don't worry about what's happened in the past. Don't be anxious about what might be happening tomorrow or in the next hour. Be in the present moment. And meditation will teach you to be in the present moment.
Well, that is beautiful. So, team, you are set up to go out and be present. Enjoy you, really embrace you and the life that you've been given, and look into meditation. There's lots of it. We are so blessed with abundance in terms of if you want to get a meditation coach, if you want to go to a class, if you want to do it virtually, we are for you. We want you just to discover whatever your winning strategies are. And Marla, thank you so much for sharing you, your story, the gift, and to really empowering our team to start to implement meditation into your daily rituals and routines. So team, it's up to you. We pass the ball to you. Set yourself up for a 10-day and enjoy implementing meditation into your life. Thank you. Thank you, Marla.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening. We'd like to get you coached up, so head over to iTunes and Spotify and hit subscribe. And remember, a champion life is a 10 life. You and your life matter. Create a life that you love, give hope to others, and be and choose nothing but 10s. Be you, the world needs you. Go to lifetrainingacademy.com to start your training and get coached.